After knowing about the nucleus radius and nuclear density, now we are going to discuss about mass defect. Here first of all we should know that what is nucleons means the containing the nucleus, the protons and neutrons are lies in the nucleus, we know that. So, the number of protons and neutrons means nucleons means the protons and neutrons together is called as nucleons. Here whenever the mass of the nucleons is the sum of the mass of the nucleons is always looking greater than the total entire mass of the nucleus. The difference between them means here consider it's a nucleus, it is having the protons and neutrons. Whenever if we added that mass of the neutrons and mass of the protons, then here the individually added the mass of the protons and mass of the neutrons is always greater than the little bit more than the total entire mass of the nucleus. That is the difference between the mass of the nucleons and the total entire mass of the nucleus. The total mass of the nucleus is called a mass defect, some of the defect in the mass. So, here all we know that the mass of the nucleons, the mass of the nucleus is depends on the mass of the nucleons. So, that but is found that the sum of the masses of the nucleons is always more than the actual mass of the resultant nucleus. Here, so the difference between the definition of mass defect, listen carefully, the difference between the sum of the masses of the constituent nucleons means the protons, neutrons. So that the difference between the sum of the masses of the constituent nucleons and the actual mass of the nucleus, is known as a mass defect, and it is denoted with delta m. So, by from this formula we can find out the mass defect of any nucleons. Here delta m be the mass defect, it is a mass defect. So, that mass defect is denoted with delta m. ZMP plus A minus ZMN minus M. Here Z be the atomic number, we know that the number of protons into mass of protons. So, we can find out the any number of any nucleus number of protons. So, the atomic number of protons, the total mass of the protons. Here ZMP means ZMP is the total mass of protons. Total mass of protons plus A minus Z will gives the number of neutrons present in the nucleus. So, that A minus Z be the number of neutrons present inside the nucleus. So, A minus Z be the number of neutrons. So, Mn be the mass of neutron. So, that here the total A minus Z gives the number of neutrons present inside the nuclei into mass of neutrons can give the total entire mass of neutrons. So, A minus Z into Mn will gives the total mass of neutrons. So, minus whenever by adding this one, adding both, then the mass of the nucleons minus. So, the entire total mass of the nucleus, So, the difference between both of them is considered as a mass defect. Once again, the difference between the sum of the masses of the nucleons and the actual mass of the nucleus is called a mass defect, and it is denoted by delta m by the formula of Z delta m is equal to ZMP plus A minus Z into Mn minus capital M. Here capital M be the mass of the nucleus, and MP means small mp means mass of protons, Mn means mass of neutron, and A minus Z be the number of neutrons present inside the nuclei, and Z be the atomic number, that is also known as the atomic number as well as the number of protons in the nuclei. So, by using this formula we can find out the mass defect. The next one is binding energy. Binding energy. Before discussing about the binding energy, we know that in the nuclei, protons and neutrons are present inside the nuclei. Proton is having the positive charge, as well as whenever for the more protons are having that, multiple protons are having that, due to the positive charge of new protons, the repulsion will be acts between the protons. Even though the repulsive force is acting on the between the protons also, the total protons positive charge is lies in the nucleus. Because of more than the repulsive force is acting between the protons, some of the external force is acting on that to be together all the protons at a same point in the nuclei. That force is called nuclear forces. That force is called nuclear forces. Whenever the nuclear forces are acting this one, more than this repulsion force between the same like charges of protons, means positive charge is having that, the positive charge is having the repulsion, so that more than that repulsive force, some of the force externally acting on that body on the protons, so that the protons can get together in the nucleus. That forces is called nuclear forces. So that the due to the nuclear forces, the protons are lying in the nucleus. Protons and neutrons are combined, they can form the nucleus. So that when the minimum energy required to split the nucleus into its constituent nucleons, means to separate the proton and neutron by dividing the nucleus, which can separate the proton and neutron, that minimum energy required to split the nucleus into its constituent nucleons, that energy is called binding energy. Means the minimum amount of energy required to separate the proton and neutron in the nucleus to form the constituent nucleons is called as a binding energy, as well as the minimum energy required to combine the constituent nucleons to form a nucleus. To form a nucleus is also called as a binding energy. Here the nucleons, whenever the two constant nucleons to form the constant nucleons, whenever the proton and neutron combine to form the nucleons, some of the energy released by that whenever they form the nucleus. So that energy which is equal to the amount of the mass defect, equal to the mass defect. Here the minimum energy is required to split the nucleus into its constituent nucleons is called a binding energy. If nucleons join together, then if the proton and neutron are joined together to form the nucleus, an equal amount of energy is released. The energy released during the formation of nucleus, the energy is released so that the mass of the proton and neutron decreases that equal amount which is equal to the mass defect. Means the equal amount of mass defect energy can be released so that the mass decreases of proton and neutron, so that which is the decreases mass which is equal to the mass defect. So that even though if the during the splitting means during the separating of proton neutrons also some energy is supplied to that proton and neutron, so that case of the mass of the proton and neutron increases, which is equal to mass defect. So that here we can say that the mass energy which is equal to the mass defect which is equal to, according to the mass energy equivalent theorem also we can get that the mass which is equivalent to the energy, so that the mass and means we have that E is equal to mc square formula. E is equal to mc square formula from the mass energy equivalent theorem. From that E equal to the mass defect which is equal to here the mass defect which is equivalent to binding energy. From the formula we can write that is delta E which is equal to ZMP plus A minus ZMN minus capital M into C square. C square means by delta m C square, which is Be, binding energy. Binding energy which is equal to, which can be denoted, binding energy can be denoted with delta E or E suffix B also. So here the binding energy is equal to mass defect delta m C square because of Zmp plus A minus Z into Mn. Zmp plus A minus B, A minus Z into Mn can be denoted, minus n is mass defect into C square. So that binding energy means, once again, the minimum amount of energy required to split the nucleus into constituent nucleons, or the minimum energy released means either the minimum energy released to form the nucleus from its nucleons, whenever the nucleons together to form the nucleus, some of the amount of energy released. So that equal amount of energy released, then that equal amount of energy is called as a binding energy. Either if the amount of energy required to combine the proton and neutron, or separating the neutron also the same amount of energy which is required, that energy is called a binding energy. So that according to the variation of binding energy per nucleon with with their mass numbers, means if the large number of atomic mass numbers are having the less stability, so that then the minimum amount of binding energy which is used to separate the nucleus into nucleus. For example, uranium, the type of materials used in its explodes, so they require less amount of binding energy to split the nucleons into its constant nucleus into its constant nucleons. So that by using that, the mass variation of binding energy per nucleon, variation of binding energy per nucleon with mass number, we will discuss about it. So the variation of binding energy per nucleon with mass number, according to this, here we are taking the curve. In the y-axis we are taking that binding energy, along x-axis we are taking the mass number. So from that, whenever from the origin the less mass numbers, means low mass numbers are having that 1h1, 1h2, 1h3 and lithium, these mass numbers are having that the binding energy rises. Initially the binding energy rises sharply at it reaches to the maximum at the ferrous, and here the ferrous is having that binding energy of 8.75 mega electron volts, and a less amount of it is having the deuterium, that is approximately 1.05 mega electron volts, less amount of energy. So that here the binding energy rises sharply from the initial to the up to reaches to the ferrous having the maximum binding energy, and then more gradually increases to, it will comes to this, and the curve gradually falls to 7.6. Here uranium 7.6, we can get naturally uranium 238 material we can get naturally in the nature. So that it gradually falls to the 7.6 mega electron volts. That is means here if we observe that the atomic mass numbers are having that is 32, atomic mass numbers are of 30 to 170, the medium atoms are more stable than the neighbor atoms. Here whenever the nuclear energy, whenever the atomic mass number is having that less than 30 or having that more binding energy, and at the same time after A is greater than 170, atomic mass number of 170 having the so less binding energy, both are having the different maxima and minima binding energies are there. They are oscillating the unstably. So here between the 30 to 170 mass numbers of atoms are having the great stability. Here if we see that the helium is having that more than 6, then the neighbor atom which is having that less amount of, and if we compare the after that carbon is having that more, and after that nitrogen is having the less, then oxygen is having more, and after sulfur, the means the neighbor, if we compare with the lighter having that more stable, if we compare with the neighbor atoms, here that with the comparison of neighbor atoms, the less amount of mass numbers are having the high stable. So that in case of for high mass numbers of binding per nucleon, binding energy per nucleon, that binding energy per nucleon means that is a delta m C square by A. that is binding energy per nucleon, which is equal to delta mc square by A, that is binding energy per nucleon, which is having that for high mass numbers binding energy per nucleon is low. Binding energy per nucleon is low, hence they are unstable. So that's why that uranium type of materials which is used mostly in explosives. And also the nature of binding energy curve gives a clue to the release of energy also. Release of energy means which is having the lighter nuclei, which is having the lighter nuclei materials goes on a fusion process. Fusion means whenever the lighter, fusion means when the lighter nucleus are combined to form a high binding energy nuclei, so that they goes into the fusion. Whenever they are combining, the lighter nucleus are combining, some of the energy is released, so that in the release of energy also, when lighter nucleus are going into the fusion, then only energy can be released. And that heavy nucleus, for heavy nucleus they wanted to become the medium nucleus, so to be stable, so that's why they will split into the constant nucleons and to form the small mass of a nucleus, so that here some of the energy is released, so that also the some of that will moves into the fission process. Fission process will happen for the heavy nuclei masses of the particle. Heavy nuclei mass atoms will goes into the fission process to be stable, to become the less mass atoms. So means the fusion process means light atoms, light mass of atoms will combine together and to form the high mass of a binding energy nucleus. So to be stable, for heavy nucleus comes to fusion process, and light nucleus will goes to the fusion process. So in the nuclear process also, the curve gives the clue about it. For small mass numbers, the curve shows the characteristics of maximum minima, and as well as between the 30 to 170, ferrous is having that most stable atom. Their binding energy is more, 8.75 mega electron volts energy is there. For most binding energy is ferrous, and less for the deuterium, that is 1.05 mega electron volts, and for the ferrous 8.75 mega electron volts of energy is there. So that we can say the binding energy per nucleon is lower, for A is less than 30, atomic mass number which is having the atoms are less than 30, they are having that the binding energy per nucleon is low, and after high for the up to above 170. So that here the between the 30 to 170 atomic mass number having the nucleus are more stable than if we compared with the neighbors. This is the variation of a binding energy per nucleon with a mass number.